champion Gary Anderson in a deciding leg. Let's get the players out with John.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the quarterfinal stages of the Ladbrokes UK Open, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation, live on ITV Sport, where it's time to meet the players. Both players are looking for their second UK Open semi-final, so let's meet them. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former champion of the world, the Cobra, KLaasen! Ladies and gentlemen, the former World Grand Prix champion and the Players' Championship Finals, Super G! Gurney!
Touching more, reaching out, touching me, touching
Absolutely love a bit of Sweet Caroline in this venue. Will we hear it again tonight? Will we hear it twice tonight? Let's find out in the company of Alan and Dan Dawson. Hi, Dan.
Good afternoon, everybody. And good afternoon to Daryl Gurney, a former winner in this venue, and KLaasen, a former champion of the world. The one thing you can say about these two is that they have pedigree, but it's probably fair to say that the start of 2020 leading up to this year's UK Open hasn't gone according to plan. Daryl Gurney may well be the world number 8, the 33-year-old from Derry. Had some real battles to get to this stage. KLaasen languishing down in the 40s in the world rankings, but still just 35. We've seen him have renaissances in his career before. He kind of needs one now, doesn't he, Wazza?
He does, yes. And when we look at these major events when they come up, Dan, we look at a handful of players that really need to get that run. And as you mentioned, these are two of the players for slightly different reasons, it has to be said. But as we mentioned at the top of the show, KLaasen, since that wrist injury and surgery, hasn't been the same player. I think that's pretty evident to everybody, including himself. But this will go great strides to giving him a lot more confidence. He's certainly played a lot better in the Players' Championship. I've noticed that with being there, even sometimes not getting the result, but the quality and averages is starting to put in the better numbers.
Yeah, well, that's the curious thing. We've had a few weekends of Players' Championship action. Daryl Gurney hasn't been doing enough of that. He's not been playing particularly well. Yella has been, but both have been going out round one, round two. Yella's been an absolute ninja at losing 6-5 in games.
I'm sure you'd love to get rid of that tag. Yeah, great start from Daryl Gurney there. That certainly settles you down straight away, it really does. But he's shown much more resolve, Daryl Gurney, in this tournament, where quite often he's been showing the quality, just a little bit of a different angle from him, where he's been behind in quite a few of his games, and some of them a long way behind.
Well, we're already sticking Willie O'Connor's name in the hat for the next round, because that was a a ridiculous comeback, but
100.
he was 7-1 down in that match over on the second stage in Red's Bar, and somehow found a way back. It was close. It sounds daft to say the first 8 legs. It was actually close, but he was only being beaten by 1 dart every leg.
21.
This would be a convincing start to the match, though.
Should go treble 15 here, yeah. Plenty of time with KLaasen back on 230, but he's got the insurance of knowing he's coming back to have 3 clear darts at double 8.
100.
Just a little tap on the shoulder from the Cobra to let Gurney know he's there to sweep up if there's a miss, but there is no miss, and that is a very authoritative 13 dart start.
Well, wonderful start. When you start the match with a maximum, it settles you down straight away, and even further when you take the first leg. 13 darts. Putting the pressure on
95.
straight away on your opponent, and we all know what that can do in the course of the match.
55.
Well, Michael van Gerwen's just given us an exhibition in what confidence can do. He was very nearly knocked out by Jason Lowe this weekend, and then he's just gone berserk since then with back-to-back 110 averages.
140.
Confidence is a big thing, and it's a huge thing for Jelle KLaasen. And as you say, the improved performances of late are just giving him
57.
that little bit of self-belief, which must have been a factor in how he got over the line against Gary Anderson in a tight game, tight battle, last leg decided.
That's the difference in winning the last leg and losing the last leg, isn't it? When your confidence is low, you almost feel like you're going to lose it. If you know you can do it, it just gives you that little bit more impetus to take you over the line.
Gurney getting the first poke. That is a perfect dart. Cannot follow it.
98.
Well, another big finish on offer, and he may have to take this. Should be the bull route first. Now treble 20. For the ball!
110. W requires 72.
Worried it. 15 off, 17 leaves tops. Nice open bed for Super Chin.
32.
Can't find it.
W requires 25.
Disappointed there.
Game shot on the second leg. Jelle KLaasen.
Oh, the old Robert Thornton route for the 25. Single 17 for double 4. Jelle KLaasen back in the day. Double 18 was always his double. So just next door for double 4 shouldn't be too much of a problem.
140.
Yeah, traditionally it was always 16s, 8s, 20s and 10s, wasn't it? But a lot of these, certainly the European players, tend to go for double 18. Rob Cross, one of his favourite doubles, double 18.
Well, it's an encouraging start to the game from Super Chin. He may have missed the chance to take a 2-0 lead, but
140.
there's been some real battling displays. He always says, I'm never going to be the best player in the world, but I can beat anybody in the world. He beat Van Gerwen on this stage, of course, to claim the Players' Championship Finals title the year after he won the World Grand Prix. Lovely stuff from Jelle, his first maximum.
Yeah, fantastic from Jelle. Yeah, we have to remember he's won 2 majors in this day and age of the extreme quality that's on offer. At the top of the rankings.
67.
Last few years winning 2 majors.
141.
Made a little bit of a mess of that. Tied us up to an extent to leave a 2-darter. There's only one way he's going to go for this, and that won't help him out. So a chance for Jelle KLaasen to get a breaker throw.
58.
Yes, and he's got options. If he doesn't hit the treble 20 with the first dart, possibly, well, he's hit this anyway for tops or clean, clinical. The Cobra pounces.
Game on.
Little smile on KLaasen's lips. This is where he wanted to be. He's beaten Daryl Gurney most of the times that they've played. He's got a 5-3 winning record against him. However, all 5 of those wins came in the sort of period between 2015 and 2017, before Jelle got his injury, before he had all these problems with tendonitis in his arm, before his confidence went, and before he started to slide down the rankings.
177.
And the start of this year are perhaps the first signs that we could be getting the old Cobra back.
Well, certainly no disrespect meant, but if you look at the figures here in the quarter-final of the UK Open, playing well, 2-1 up, 100+ average. His second maximum, he wouldn't be maybe one of the names you would have thought, but he's earned the right by putting the hard work in, on the floor, on the practice board, now starting to play at a level that he's been used to. There we go, clean again.
Fabulous 11-dart leg from the Cobra. That's 3 legs on the spin for him, and he is not looking like the lowest ranked player in the tournament at the start of today. Only 49 in the world rankings.
Well, we've had 2 terrific matches so far, Dan, and this is following on from the first 2. It really is. Plenty of quality, 4 maximums already.
59.
3 and 1 out of 4 on the doubles between them.
140.
Both players know they can win this match, but they both know they have to really put in an excellent performance.
57.
You know, the last time Gurney beat KLaasen, it was back end of last year. He went all the way and claimed the title on the tour. He does not have a load of titles, Daryl Gurney. It's weird that he's only won 5 titles in the PDC. 2 of them are massive TV tournaments. He really does come alive on the big stages. And over the last few years, he's been one of the most consistent performers in the big TV events. Since Jelle KLaasen last made a big TV quarter-final, Gurney's had 12. It's over a 3.5-year spell. He's always in there.
Madness!
43.
Well, he's made a mess of that, but this should be Gurney's leg to ensure that he does not trail by more than 1 leg going into the first break.
Well, he's in again. He's in again. Well, he's left a massive finish just to make Daryl Gurney look, oh, I might have to take this out.
Don't go counting your chickens just yet, Super Chin.
34.
Wild.
147.
Ooh, it's on. Ooh, needed the treble 17. You can tell by the grimaced look from KLaasen.
He was absolutely nowhere in this leg, Jelle KLaasen. And Daryl Gurney makes sure that he stays there. A little look over his shoulder and a raise of the eyebrows. Super Chin started well, but a power spell from Jelle KLaasen sees him go into the first break 3-2 up as they battle it out for a spot in the semi-finals of the UK Open. Open, we've already seen Gerwyn Price and Michael van Gerwen book their places in the semi-finals. 2 more players will join them. Jamie Hughes and Johnny Clayton will round things off this afternoon. But this one has started intriguingly. Jelle KLaasen looking very good. 100 average, 3-2 up on the former players champion Daryl Gurney.
Yes, the 2 players you mentioned there, Dan, almost run away with their games despite their opponents not doing that much wrong. But this one just has that feel of a closer match. Could go sort of a close distance towards the end.
Well, how many games have gone 10-9 so far this weekend? It's been every session we're seeing multiple games do it. It would be weird if we didn't see a close one in the quarter-finals. Jelle had that 10-9 with Anderson. Gurney has come through 10-9 against Keegan Brown and Willie O'Connor this weekend.
Yes, 33 apparently. Incredible, really, isn't it? When you think even if half of those matches were turned around, we'd have a completely different last 8.
Well, Daryl Gurney has survived match darts in both of those games. Willie O'Connor had 3, Keegan Brown had a couple. But at the same time as Keegan Brown missing a couple of darts, Gurney found some very good legs at the end to win the last 3 legs. Brown stranded on doubles as Gurney progressed through to the last 32. That's a great shot to pressurise this 99 for Gurney.
Ooh, well, he's got a chance though. He's hit the treble. 1 dart at double 16.
83.
Oh, the pressure told there. KLaasen scoring really heavily in this match.
Nicely cleared up. KLaasen double six to re-establish the two-leg advantage.
Playing with so much confidence. We've mentioned it all so often, and certainly at the start of the show and before this match. And that's what confidence does to you. It brings out your best game.
The one worry in watching Jelle play over the last couple of years, where his confidence has taken a battering, is that he does have the ability to lose a game from pretty much any position. He can fly out the blocks and be averaging well over a ton and build up a lead of 2, 3, 4, 5 legs. But if something goes wrong, he can't seem to get out of this sort of negative cycle, and he lets people in. But maybe that's changing this weekend. Maybe this is a different Cobra, the sort of 2015-16 vintage, when behind Michael van Gerwen, he was the most consistent player on the European Tour, always quarterfinals, semi-finals, final.
140.
Yes, and it's such a tough school nowadays, Dan. It really is. I mean, when you look at the Players' Championship, for instance, I know we mentioned those a lot. A perfect sort of a atmosphere for players to get perfection, but the amount of ton plus averages you're getting that, and people who will lose.
11s now. Bullseye for Super Chin.
96. Jelle 161.
Jelle would love to have a dart at the bull at the end of this, but it's not going to happen.
Just got to keep the pressure on though. So good last out there from KLaasen, because what that does is give him a two-darter. So Gurney will be wary that he's just behind him.
No score.
Busts it.
Jelle 97.
Moved across the oche, felt he had to give it a bit more power, and it was just far too much. Double-double for KLaasen, not going to go.
30.
In fact, that one comes out the board, but Gurney, it's going to cost him a dart, cost him a dart just to get to the double again, having bust.
Yes, and any player will tell you that's so difficult to do that, because you can see the emotion there, and that's because of that moment, not because of the state of the match. Because he's got out of jail there. He was under pressure, but came up trumps.
93.
Well, he is a battler, Daryl Gurney. He will not give in. He will not stop. The performance against Peter Wright to get to this stage was magnificent. Almost as good as when he beat him at the match play last year. He's got these enormous displays in him, these incredibly resilient displays where he can throw massive ton plus averages at him and he just withstands it.
Yes, anybody can be a good player when you're in front. It's when you're getting punched left, right and centre, as they say. If you can still do it when that's been thrown against you. It's the mark of a winner, a champion.
Well, he did move up to number 3 in the world rankings for a spell, didn't he? After winning here in Minehead, that Players' Championship finals title. And
59.
Constantly being in the quarters, semis of big TV events, it's going to keep you right up there. As I say, in terms of consistency, he's been fabulous over the last 3 years.
140.
Oh, nice little bit of aggression there from Daryl Gurney.
100. WK 112.
Gurney senses the opportunity to break back. Nice and high.
Ooh, not as high as it should have been, but it was in.
80. Jelle 108.
They're the sort of shots that were going against snakebite. The Cobra makes him pay with a ton plus.
Wonderful darts from Jelle KLaasen. Yes, he knows it. Important finish to keep that two-leg advantage, keep his quality opponent just at arm's length. But back comes Gurney.
97.
Six maximums, but 3 177s. Wonderful scoring.
140. $123.
Well, Gurney's still harbouring ambitions of getting to the second break level with the Dutchman.
64. $99. W require 100.
So pressure's off. A couple of visits to see this off and cut that gap once again. That doesn't help him.
Oh, that doesn't help at all, because that increases the negativity when you're behind, and he will have to take out the 81.
92. W require 81.
So this should have been more straightforward, Super Chin. Double 12. Oh, it was straightforward, my mistake.
Yes, we love the emotion.
10th flag is yellow to reverse.
KLaasen, stern look, waiting to pounce in their next leg.
They are very different stage
100.
presences, these two. Yella will just glide around that stage as quickly as he possibly can and doesn't give a great deal away. Daryl Gurney, he has trouble just reining in his emotions. He collapsed to the floor when he beat Willie O'Connor the other night.
140.
Well, it's been a pretty good standard throughout. Decent averages there, just under the 100. Yes, we're so used to the ton pluses, but that is very, very good and high quality.
Can't get much between them, but the major difference is in the finishing. Daryl Gurney is hitting 33%, 1 in 3 of his darts at double. Jelle Klaasen has only missed 2 in this match. That is incredible. If he can
59.
keep that going, then you'd have to make Klaasen the favourite to get over the line and reach the semi-finals, equaling his best ever run here. That was a good 4 or 5 years ago, though.
80.
I wasn't happy with that visit there, Daryl. Good recovery with the second and the third. Maintaining his high scoring. Wonderful view there from the audience to the big stage here at Minehead.
96. Yellow, you require 87.
Treble 17 will be the opener. Now the 20s. Now the bull.
62.
Close, as you could see, on the wire, but not in. Gurney should start in the same area. Now needs the treble 20. No, not to be.
Bit of a glare
65.
at that treble 20 that eludes him. Klaasen has been excellent on the outer ring. Double 4 once more. And the excellence continues. The Cobra keeps Super Chin at arm's length. He'll take a 2-leg lead into the final session of this match. 6-4 to the Dutchman, needing 4 more legs to join Michael van Gerwen and Gerwin Price in the semi-finals of the UK Open. Game on! Jamie Hughes in his first quarter-final in a big TV tournament as a PDC player against the Ferret Johnny Clayton, the 9-dart hero this weekend. Before that, we've got the climax to this one. Can Super Chin, Daryl Gurney, a winner on this stage a couple of years ago, the Players' Championship finals, can he turn this around against the clinical Jelle Klaasen, who has finished magnificently so far?
Well, we mentioned his resolve in this tournament down earlier on because of his prior performances against Keegan Brown and William O'Connor, and even Peter Wright to some extent. He's going to have to show the same qualities here against somebody who seems to be back to playing at the top of his game. and taking his chance.
Well, Daryl Gurney will leave everything out there. He will strain every sinew to get back into this game. You cannot ever criticise a lack of effort with Daryl Gurney.
42.
Yes, there's a lot to admire about his game, isn't there? He's certainly a good character. That's what our game is built upon. The characters in our sport.
140.
Well, it's his ability to bounce back. That's the thing. I mean, he's...
Go on, say it. Bounce back ability.
Well, I was going to let you go for
word.
that. But the Premier League, he's not won a game so far this year, and yet he's come here this weekend and played some really solid stuff. He's had a bit of fortune, but it's been solid. However, KLaasen is going to get 2 visits to see off the 140. He might only need the 1. Double 10. Knocked out of his rhythm by checking it's there.
130.
If you're going to miss, you don't want to miss inside.
No, you can see why you've said that, because double 5 isn't everybody's favourite double on the board. But he knows he's in a good position here to break again and get some clear daylight, really. He's been finishing well. Well, you have to say that's unlucky, but it wasn't in.
4 darts missed for a break and a 7-4 lead, and Gurney is going to get a dart. The target is tops. Is that a turning point in this one?
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth there. That really could change the course of the game. From KLaasen's point of view, yes, he's missed a massive opportunity there, but he's got to get back to the same focus, concentration and level he was until that moment.
That's the question. KLaasen, since 2017, when he had the problems with his wrist, when the confidence started to go, he could fly out the blocks, something goes wrong and he can't get it back on the right track.
98.
Big leg this for him, definitely.
Absolutely, on his own throw.
Could have been 7-4 up there. Gurney takes this one, it's level. It inspires confidence in your opponent and just drains you slightly.
And for the first time, we just see him trying to collect himself. Everything's been going fine. Absolutely everything has been proceeding according to plan, and that's the first time where he's just had to stop and just check himself.
Well, I was just going to say it's fortunate that Gurney hasn't been power scoring in this leg, but that puts him almost 80 ahead.
26.
Well, there we go. As you mentioned, Dan.
You're Daryl Gurney right now, Wazza. Do you sense that something has changed in this game?
Oh, absolute sense all over the place. He knows this is a big moment to get back in the match. And it's not by his brilliance, it's been by the miss from KLaasen.
94.
And the mind games that's going on in there.
26.
Another one of those. Doesn't have to go that way.
He's got options. Triple 15, possibly. No, he stayed there. Big 18, all day long.
94.
No need for the bullseye in this situation. He feels like this game is turning in his favour.
100.
No need to be flash.
32.
Just need to get the job done. Double 16, his favourite double on the board.
He shot on the 12.
Yep.
Gurney.
He liked that one, didn't he? Well, certainly not the best leg of the match by quite some distance, but how important was that?
Daryl Gurney has dragged himself level for the first time since going 2-1 behind. If he keeps on holding his throw, he wins this game and reaches the semi-finals.
60.
Well, certainly both players level. On the scoring has dipped slightly.
83.
There's no doubt about that. A little bit more pressure in the game as we get closer to that winning line. And what's on offer? A place in the semi-finals.
$93.
Well, he looks calm, but we don't know what's going on underneath, do we?
Trademark Gurney stuff. A fourth maximum for Super Chin.
93. WK 121.
KLaasen just hanging in there. The scoring, he's certainly lost a little bit of the impetus that he had. Well, big 18 all day long again. The second leg running. He doesn't need to do it. Game management, Dan.
100.
If you keep letting Daryl Gurney have 3 darts at double 16 at the end of each leg, you're not going to win many games against him.
No. Long way off with the second one. I thought he would have moved there with the angle and distance.
Well, the problem is, it looked like he was throwing 3 darts at double 16. After the first one, he wanted double 8.
Yeah, that was the problem. But
16.
KLaasen was on a big finish, which could have turned the game around to his favour again, but not to be. Can't afford to keep missing Daryl. There we go. Yes, he knows it. He knows how important getting in front at this stage of the match and what's happened in the last few legs really means.
Well, there you see the contrasting characters on stage. Gurney, emotional, fired up, constantly battling against himself. He doesn't want to let those emotions run away with him. That's when his darts go haywire, in his own words. KLaasen, passive. And being pacified by Daryl Gurney at the moment.
He knows he's in a good position now, Daryl Gurney. Back comes KLaasen. Well, he needed that. He really did. Power scoring in the early part of the match has just eluded him recently. That could get him back on track.
100.
Ah, the Cobra bites back.
There it is. Where have you been? Go on then. Go on then. Thank you.
Daryl Gurney asking the question of KLaasen. Does he have the answer? It is a magnificent leg from Yella. 2 years ago, I'm not sure he'd be able to find that kind of leg in this situation when it looked like the game might be drifting away from him.
Absolutely, Dan. 2-6-6 in 5 darts with his opponent just hitting a maximum, putting the pressure on.
140.
So maybe he's got over that just a little bit of a dodgy moment. A few legs where it looked like it was eluding him. He seems to have got it back now.
140.
He's back. He's back and firing. Yella KLaasen was in charge of this game for the first 2 sessions because his finishing was superb.
96.
Gurney took the game by the scruff of the neck at the start of this final session, but now you are struggling to separate them.
97.
There is literally 1 point in it.
Talk about tight margin. It really is.
58.
Slight opening possibly for KLaasen. Scoring better in the last couple of legs.
140.
There we see it. Leaves a finish. Oh wow, he would love to take that one out, Dan. He really would.
He may have to. He has to find a break of throw to win this game, Yella KLaasen. This is a chance.
Here's a treble 18. He gets it. He needs the ball!
99. WK 111.
Gurney once again looking at a ton plus checkout. He produced one at the start of this session. It looked like it might be a tide turner. He will not repeat the trick.
70. WK 21.
Big moments. Big, big moments. One left for double 2.
21.
No, he can't believe it. He can't believe it.
It's getting tense in the big tent. Double 16. Gurney is 2 legs away.
Gurney, 16 leg yellow to do first.
Well, tense in the tent. So 2 tenths.
2 tenths for yellow right now.
Well, could that... Well, we've had so many turning points at the latter part of this match. I almost feel like there's going to be another one. That could have been. But the important thing for both players to keep in their armoury is that it is still a very, very close encounter. We said earlier on, didn't we? It had that feel that it was going to be a close match. It's turning out that way. It doesn't always.
96.
Still up for grabs. Who's got that purple patch for the last 10 minutes or so?
139.
Well, even Michael van Gerwen's had to come through a last leg decider this weekend. Jason Lowe pushing him to the absolute limit. Daryl Gurney's had to come through 2 and survive 5 match darts. KLaasen had to come through 1 against Gary Anderson.
It's an important last dart there. Disappointed with that second one in the 5 because he had such a good lie on the first dart above the treble 20. So it gives him a chance to take the leg and level. Gurney dancing. Dancing Gurney.
59.
Quick, slow.
90.
Has to go for 20, surely. No, he's staying there. Ball!
Finally, KLaasen, after a number of misses, nails the bullseye. 8-8, on we go. Gurney's turn, the pressure's on him. Can he hold? If he does, he goes within 1 of the semis.
60.
Well, he knows that's probably not enough at this moment in time, but it's all down to his opponent to punish him.
59.
Which hasn't happened. Both players feeling it. Who can provide the killer dart?
Well, after a bit of a struggle at the start of this year, Daryl Gurney may look back on this weekend
82.
and think it was the weekend that changed the course of 2020 for him. KLaasen, he may look back on this weekend and think it's
56.
something that changed the course of his career over the last few years. It genuinely is that big a deal for KLaasen.
Well, that's the first treble of this leg. He needs to get 2 in. Both players struggled with the first 2 visits, but Gurney obviously throwing first.
60.
Looks all likely to be the first player to get to 9 and 1 away. But that means nothing.
Not from what we've seen so far this weekend. Gurney fills it up. 180 number 6 for Super Chin, and he'll come back with multiple
93.
darts to go 9-8 up. Yella knows the game is up, or should be, in this particular leg.
Thank you.
Just took a moment there just to recompose himself and focus, and it hasn't worked. What was it, an exhibition finish? Have I missed something, Dan?
Well, are we going to go 9 for double 8? Are we going to have a look elsewhere? Okay, double 8 it is. Double finish.
Yes, he knew what he was doing.
18 legged yellow to do first. Game on.
Why do a simple finish when you can make it entertaining?
So speaks Alan Warren a little. Talking of entertaining finishes, this might be going all the way.
It would be the 34th last leg decider of the weekend. And we haven't finished yet. Woohoo!
60.
You go back a couple of years, These two met here at the UK Open. It went in a best of 19 game to a last leg decider.
99.
It was won by Daryl Gurney, one of only 3 wins he's got against the Cobra.
99.
It is very, very likely that we will see another last leg shootout.
Well, they can't leave a finish, but as a player, when you're going for a finish and you hear that 180 shout, just gives you
65.
a slight bit of negativity that shouldn't have been there.
Well, he's safe for now, but he won't be at the end of this visit from Gurney. How precarious will it be?
96.
Very precarious. It has to go Yella. It does go, and this match goes all the way. For the second time, Daryl Gurney and Jelle Klaasen go all the way to a 19th and deciding leg at the UK Open, but the stakes are much, much higher 2 years on, with a semi-final spot on the line.
Well done, boys. Pat on the back for the entertainment. The match has been brilliant, ups and downs all the way through, but it's all about this leg. And Gurney fires in a maximum!
And not a trace of a reaction from Super Chin. He knows the job is not complete.
One in each of the last 3 legs.
58.
5 in the last 7. What a start from Gurney in this leg.
This is unreal. Oh. 5 perfect darts. We will not see another 9-darter in this leg, but Daryl Gurney has given himself the greatest opportunity.
He'll take a 19-darter as long as he takes it. He's got himself in this position with 2 fantastic visits, and here comes another. Bullseye maybe, yeah.
105.
76 after 9, throwing for the match.
An 11-darter in a last leg decider. We've seen that before this weekend, but it was under more pressure because Jelle Klaasen has just folded under this incredible last leg decider from Daryl Gurney. Match dart incoming. Where's he want to have it? 16 for tops. Double top.
20 double 18 there, didn't he? He contemplated 20 double 18. Just thought, well, I could hit the flight. Why make it difficult for myself?
And Jelle cannot leave a finish. Only a 180 would have done. And Daryl Gurney to get himself over the line. It has been a battle. It has been a battle all weekend for Super Chin. He's going 8 double 16. And it doesn't work.
Can't believe it. Well, he's been under no pressure whatsoever in the last 2 visits, but you feel he will be after this one. Bullseye would be a good dart there. I thought Bullseye would have been a good one to leave 135. Could have got the 25. Well, he's put the pressure on himself. He's got himself in this position. Come on, Daryl, he's saying to himself. Come on.
You left it, Daryl. You hit it. Double 4. And he gets over the line. Jelle Klaasen beaten in a last leg decider by Super Chin for the second time in 3 years at the UK Open. Daryl Gurney, a winner in this venue at the Players' Championship Finals. He's so good in holiday camps. Give that man a red coat.
Daryl Gurney of Northern Ireland has reached the UK Open semi-finals for the second time, and he has done so in thrilling style. 10-9 on the decider. That's the 34th match of this weekend's UK Open, which has gone the full distance, and he looks rather pleased with himself. Well, he might be as well, because he joins MVG Gerwyn Price in tonight's semis with one more quarter-final still to play. Those are the stats. 95 average for Daryl, 94 for Yellow, who was hugely disappointed at the end there. 37% on the checkouts for Daryl. Made it a little bit difficult for himself in the end, but he got over the line and he is ready to tell Stuart all about it.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie, and he's still smiling. That was a fantastic final leg.
It was until I go, my hand's shaking so much I don't think I can hit tops. That's how bad it is. I don't know no other probably professional would have done that. I sucked it up and I went, no, the best shot here is a big fat 8 and 32 will go in, because I missed it on a couple of occasions, but it was like always a ton plus. But whenever I had 3 darts in my hand, or whenever I was on a nice wee finish like a 40 something or a 50 something, I wasn't missing 32. So I just thought, just don't mess around. I don't care. Honestly, whenever I put my foot in the hockey, I went, I'm just going to go for tops. And my hand was shaking so much, I goes, no, I'm not going to go for tops. So I says, just big fat 8, and hopefully 32 falls in.
Just have a look at this. We've got a monitor away here. This is how much it meant to you at the end, and it's the 3rd match that you've won in a deciding leg, 10-9 here. So you're clearly fighting this weekend.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I only done that because Yellow was off the stage then. I would never ever done that in front of a player that was still on the stage. So as soon as he left the stage, he was gone, and then after that I could celebrate. But I would never ever done that, because I thought to myself, if the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't feel disrespected or nothing like that. I just feel really hard done by, because he was in front the whole way until I think, I mean, it's 6 or 7 or whatever it was. But no, I never would have ever done that whenever Yellow was on the stage. If he stayed there on the stage until I walked off, I wouldn't have done nothing. But it's just sheer relief, and for some strange reason I seem to want to make it hard for myself and go to the last leg. But it just shows sometimes that I've got bottle, and all through the Premier League, let's be honest, whenever I was a couple of legs here and there, I've bottled it big time. And just whenever it comes to knockout stages, the doubles seem to fall in instead of fall out. But no, I'm very thankful, very lucky, and unfortunately the Yellow there, it's nice to see him back, because he's a top quality player, a world champion, and nice to see him back in the last 8 again.
We'll see you tonight. Well done.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Well done, Daryl, safely through. Now, next up, it is Johnny Clayton, still on cloud 9 after his 9-darter yesterday, and he faces Jamie Hughes from the Black Country, who is now the lowest ranked player left